On to the second half of our looking forward.
You only have 49 mobility?
Oh gosh, what are you doing, Tim?
No wonder we're always on different parts of the map.
What the
I
fuck's wrong with
move! At all! My mobility is 100.
Yeah. Mine is currently
I wanted you to
99.
know
It's
that you
disappointing.
could be proud of me.
Okay. Yes, I am proud of you. Good job. You're not playing like trash.
I mean, I'm using shards of Galanor and Mayhem. I'm a little bit playing like trash.
Okay.
I could equip Lord of Wolves to complete the picture, but
Do it.
Go the last word.
Wardcliff Coil.
Mindbenders and spare
Enjoy
rations.
yourself, Guardian.
I'm considering switching to bow since I'm not even using my weapons.
Mindbenders, spare rations, and Wardcliff Coil. That's what you need to do.
I don't really want to collections.
Spare benders. So, like I said, upcoming stuff. We got a breakfast scout today.
I can feel that in my
It's a
bones.
little bit earlier in the season than last year, which was like, smack dab in the middle of my vacation. That was nice.
Yeah.
I needed it in order to read the 7 books he wrote.
It kept you from having too much Destiny withdrawal while we were, you know, having fun at the beach.
Did, but at the same time, like the way he wrote, he was like, "Here's all the cool things that we're doing right now," and then it was.
Yeah, I remember.
You won't get this for 11 months, anyways. So it was in like August, and we didn't get to play until October or
I can
something.
feel that in my bones.
Yeah, I think it was October.
I think you're right.
So it's a little bit earlier in the dev cycle. He points this out, and he being Luke Smith, the director of Bungie, not of Bungie, of Destiny. Is different.
Is there?
Yes. Bungie technically makes other games. I mean, they haven't released any of them, but
But the match.
They make them?
they're working on
I
them
don't
right
know
now.
of any other game company like that.
Shut up. Shut up.
Riot Games, is that you?
Is lost. Battle is
Riot
still
Games
close.
releases other games. It's just not good, like any of them. None of them are good. No, I hear lots of good things about the newest one that they ripped off of someone else, which is the only way they make games. But I've heard a lot of good things about their auto chess robot.
You're in the lead.
Actually, their most recent game is a Hearthstone ripoff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the last one that I had really heard anything about people talking about was their auto chess, which was kind of sad because auto chess was doing really well, and then
5
a
minutes.
bunch of companies decided to jump on board and take
So the other Hunter and I just stared at each other for a second, and then we both blade barraged each other.
Nice. So why are you and Kristin TBD?
Because nobody else is a hunter.
What? A Crucible?
In Mayhem?
No, just Crucible's all you need to mention. The other day we were playing, we had a team to go into Legend and
You
do
could
Sundial.
turn this tide.
To go into the Sundial and do Legend. And it was a team of 5. 3 hunters, a warlock, and a titan.
Walk into a bar.
Walk into a Crucible match, and that's basically all of them. Basically every Crucible match. more of my brethren, but I also wish that there was a
Is
reason to
lost,
play a warlock.
and fight again.
That should fix your game. I'm sure we'll hear all about how they're shafting warlocks
So
tomorrow
they beat you this time.
with the next
But how
twab.
many grenades did you
Next
throw?
season, we're going to fix it so
count
that
them?
warlocks just don't
Really?
have a melee.
Ask yourself.
We heard
Did
y'all
I
complaining
throw
about how
all
your
the
melee wasn't
grenades I
working, so
could?
we've removed it.
We replaced your tickle fingers with actual tickle fingers.
Yep, that's pretty much the way it works.
But see, they would do that, and then warlocks would still have a superiority complex.
Yes, because that's all they'd have left.
And then the next season, they wouldn't have anything else to nerf on warlocks. They'd just be like, if you put a bright, flamboyant shader on, you just lose any power you have at all.
Please tell me that doesn't just affect warlocks, because that would kill all the game.
No, it's just for warlocks.
I want it to affect everyone, and then the game just becomes dreary and boring.
Oh.
And...
No, see, they're gonna do another Dinklebot-style retcon and replace all of Ikora's voice lines with Danny DeVito.
Oh, but that would be awesome. People would love that. Aren't you familiar with the Danny DeVito bandwagon that people are on?
No.
He is the most recent, like he's a less pure Keanu Reeves. He is the internet's baby, and he can do no harm.
Okay.
So if they added him in, it would be a net positive in the eyes of the Destiny population.
Okay, so they replace Ikora with Danny DeVito, and then they replace Zavala with Ikora, and they replace everyone else in the game with Zavala.
Or Tess.
Listen up, good people of the city.
Package for warlocks.
I want the one that the hunters use.
Needless to say, I sent the whole shipment back to Finchurch.
You don't look
You just
too
never
picked
quit,
up.
do you?
Took out Gaul, hook up the Traveler.
2 hours to the wall. 2 hours back.
You're all insufferable.
Twinkle twinkle, asshole.
Did you show the darkness what light can do?
Mayhem.
Oh. I really want this to be a,
Oh my cotton socks, I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
What's my favorite gun?
Oh.
Flaming hammers. Welcome
Flaming hammers.
to mayhem.
I really want, Keanu Reeves to do every voice though. But like, as the different characters he's played. So you have, like, Matrix Keanu Reeves saying stuff, and then you have, like, what's the other one that he
Raise
does?
the lead.
Wick.
No, I said the other one besides Matrix.
Is John Wick a
You're
Matrix
falling
thing?
behind.
I thought it
It
was...
basically is.
I thought it was Luna's Howl.
It basically is.
Bill and Ted is what I'm talking about.
Down. 3 opponents down.
Like,
Cyberpunk 2077? Wait, not the Matrix.
Not Matrix.
But they only made one Matrix movie.
No, they made 4.
I mean, if you're
Are you
counting all the
counting the one
John
that
Wick
came
and
out,
the
or are you
Cyber...
counting the end?
I'm counting the one that hasn't come out yet. Did you know that there was a new Matrix movie coming out?
Yep.
It has Morpheus and Trinity and Keanu Reeves still in it. Do you like the fact that I only knew one of the actors' names?
Has
I
a fish.
Elrond in it?
Yeah, Fishburne, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep. And I don't think they actually did get Elrond back.
Oh, you're not even calling him John Smith.
Of course not.
I saw Lord of the Rings and then I saw Matrix and I just couldn't get over how Elrond was evil. And young.
Oh, in looking up Elrond, I saw my favorite thing that someone has ever searched, and it's Elrond Hubbard.
I heard that coming the way you said it. And I love it.
It is beautiful, and I love it.
You're breathtaking.
Yeah. I think you're right. I don't think they brought Red Skull back.
Note to self, do not ult while in transit from the yeet cannon.
Oh yeah, no, it just drops you.
Oh, the last kill I had was from in that. It was fine.
Looking at other things Hugo Weaving does, he was V in V for Vendetta.
5 minutes remaining.
And he was also Noah the Leading Elder, Emperor Penguin, and Happy Feet 2.
Elrond, why?
And as an actually interesting character, but a terrible franchise, he was Megatron.
You're beaten. This time.
There are too many people on the other team using Shards of Galanor. They need to come up with a better strategy.
So you lost? Don't let it upset you.
You mean there aren't
Yes?
enough hunters on our
It's
team that
me.
time? I saw a lot of Warlock supers.
Try throwing more grenades.
He was in what?
He was in Babe.
Yeah.
Who was he in Babe?
Rex the male sheepdog.
Ah!
He was also Frollo's soldiers in The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Rex is awesome.
He was Steven in Strange Planet. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. What am I thinking of? Not Strange Planet. What's the animated planet?
Treasure Planet?
Thank you. That's what I was thinking of. Looking to see if there's anything else interesting, and it's a lot of junk. He was in Mortal Engines.
I thought you said interesting.
That was interesting. I didn't watch it, but it was interesting.
It's interesting because you didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris is going to be in the new Matrix.
Cool.
Come out next year.
He's not already? There it is.
I get it.
So did you know there was a Morbius movie coming out? I didn't.
Yes.
I forgot Morbius was a thing.
They have.
How? How could you forget about Morbius, the living vampire?
Because
Did you... what's the other one? Night something.
Destroy them with your light.
Superheroes, Night...
Nightwing?
No. It's a Marvel superhero.
Nighthawk.
No.
Night Stalker.
He's the insane one.
Bat Knight.
No, he's... Damn.
The Dark Knight.
She just said that.
John heard me, so you really have no excuse. He's deaf.
I very much am. Moon Knight.
Ah, yes. That word with N-I-G-H-T in it.
Hey. It is N-I-G-H-T. It's just a K. Are you familiar with Moon Knight?
2 for 1.
I know of them, mostly because of Tom Webster.
He's a Jewish-American rabbi's
You're pulling
wayward
ahead.
son.
Keep it that way.
He was a heavyweight boxer before becoming a U.S. Marine. Did some mercenary work for the CIA. So then he stumbled across an archaeological dig in Egypt. Covered an ancient temple, where artifacts included a statue of the Egyptian moon god Khonshu.
You should know that in my head, the background of all this is Moon Shadow.
Moon Shadow Elves.
Moon Shadow.
So Mark Spector, Moon Knight, challenges someone who kills someone at the temple to personal combat and loses. Is left to die in the sub-zero temperatures of the desert night. But the Egyptians who worship the ancient gods find Spectre and carry him to their temple. Helpless before the statue of Khonshu, Spectre's heart stops. Khonshu appears to him in a vision, offering Spectre a second chance at life if he becomes the god's avatar on Earth. Spectre awakens, wraps himself in the silver shroud that covers Khonshu's statue, and again becomes Bushman.
Your opponents are
defeats
gaining on you.
So he returns to America with the statue of Khonshu and becomes a private fighter. Becomes the silver cloaked costume, or creates a silver cloaked costume based on the silver shroud, and becomes
Only
Moon
5
Knight.
minutes left.
Moon Shadow.
Let me see. He's an expert at hand-to-hand combat techniques. Boxing, Kung Fu, Eskrima, Judo, Karate, Ninjutsu, Sabate, and Muay Thai. Olympic level athlete, skilled acrobat, and gymnast. Sells as a combat strategist.
Double down. Keep this up and the battle is
Are you all
yours.
familiar with Taskmaster?
Yep.
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster has the ability to copy and replicate anyone's fighting skills.
Except Deadpool, apparently.
No, except Moon Knight. Because Moon Knight's crazy, and he wouldn't bear to do it, because it would more likely kill him, because Moon Knight's crazy.
Are you sure you're not reading that from Deadpool?
Yeah, I'm certain.
I thought to myself, is that a miniature sun? But no, it was you, raining light on your opponents. I love it.
Moon Knight's strength, endurance, and reflexes are enhanced depending upon the phases of the moon. The fuller the moon, the more strength Moon Knight derives from it.
I have heard of this hero before.
Even during a new moon, he can lift several hundred pounds. It is not known how much of this strength is mystical and how much is simply the result of self-hypnosis due to his psychological instability.
Mm-hmm. He's really, really crazy.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, someone I worked with at my last store was super into Moon Knight. So I talked with them at length. Well, they talked to me at length.
So you know how like Superman is Brooklyn's hero, and various other cities have heroes. Moon Knight is LA's hero.
Poor LA. How did we get from Matrix to Moon Knight?
We were just scrolling through the M's.
Oh. It's actually a great question, because I need to get back to reading the actual Destiny shit.
Once more onto the breach.
Okay, so
Heaven forbid we talk on our talk show.
Bungie has recognized that the current season system is hell for FOMO.
Yep.
And I will agree. As someone who has the title and accomplished all of the things this season, it's hell for FOMO. Seasons are not in a good place.
You gained the lead.
They're just not. And that should be fixed.
Gonna fix it.
So they're gonna fix that. One thing in particular that's causing some of that difficulty is the fact that, for example, the sundial is going away in 12 days. That will no longer be the case. Ish.
You're pulling
So
ahead.
the way it'll work
Keep
will
it that
be
way.
sort of like Forsaken, where they may give you a season, you get your season 1 stuff, and then the next season you get stuff that adds onto that. It's like, you know, you got the Black Armory. You can still go back and do the Blind Well and stuff. You got the Black Armory, and then you got Gamma Prime. You can still go back and do Black Armory and the Blind Well. It'll be doing it the same way. You'll still iterate on it, and as you go through the seasons, you'll get more things to do. But at the end of the year, they're going to get rid of most of that, is what it sounds like he's saying. I could read it, but we don't have time for that. So that'll be good.
This isn't our read an entire book from beginning to end on stream?
No, if you want to do that, go watch Astacross's video, because he literally did that. He literally read the whole director's cut.
For one.
So, if you can't bother reading it yourself, go have it read to you by Astacross, and probably others.
Is he on Audible?
Not yet. So, yeah, that's one thing that they're working on fixing.
Your legend rose. Double down. I could not ask for a better victory.
One of the things that I think should be season locked, that I hope they do,
well.
is
Nothing held back as
titles.
it should be. Though,
Yeah.
I think that,
always
like, if
throw
you're
more
playing the
grenades.
season of Dawn and you want the Savior title, you should be forced to get it in the season of Dawn. I think that there needs to be things like that that are for the dedicated players.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe don't tie that to, like, the ritual weapons or something. Just make it like you have to do all these triumphs and get the badge or whatever by doing the blue banner quests or whatever. And just make those go away at the end of the season so you can't get the title. Would be the easiest way to do it. But I think that, like, I enjoy the Sundial. I won't be playing it anymore because there's no point.
I'm playing a little more just because I need to grab some more lore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I already got all those.
I've got 3 left.
And maybe I will play it, but if I play it, like, I'll be doing enough so that I could do another round of getting weapons. But, like, I've already got either an actual full-on god roll for the weapons or a close enough. Like, I've got
Demigod
some
roll.
that are, like, Masterwork included the best possible roll you could get from something. And then I've got others that are like, well, 3 out of 5 ain't bad. I don't have the barrel or the masterwork, but I probably won't be using the weapon anyways.
60%.
No, because it needs to be a weighted average. Weighted average, it's like a 95%. Because barrels aren't that important. Nor are the masterworks. One additional thing is that they recognize the fact that, like, to do well in a season, you basically have to do the season activity. But like, that means that the core activities, as they call them, which are Gambit, Crucible, Ordeal, that sort of thing, are left a little barren because everyone's playing Sundial, or you know, because they want those weapons and that armor, because the weapons are cool and the armor is great. So they're thinking about shifting more things into those core activities.
Oh, nice.
Now do as
So you
friends do.
You'll have better access
Incinerate each
to.
other with your light.
So now I can actually be justified in playing hours and hours of Gambit every week?
No. But but maybe more justified. You'll never be justified for the amount that you play.
Gambit is fun!
So yeah, they mentioned that like core activities are important because they're the lifeblood of the game, but they're also potentially boring because like I'm tired of. I think he even says in the director's cut the ritual of playing a match of Crucible and then deleting the 3 blues you get after it.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the one legendary, but it doesn't matter what the legendary is because it's garbage. Like, you know it's garbage. You don't have to look. You know the stats are garbage, and you know that the weapon's garbage, and you know it looks like garbage. So, why are you bothering? Don't give that shit to me. So they're like, imagine experiences like pursuing rolls for sweet weapons that can only be found, and they give it a list as an end of match reward, like a Crucible A's Luna. So, could be cool. And lastly, with that, they're considering they're going to invest in evolving world public spaces. So they're going to be working on making Control more of a interesting thing to be in.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, they said, we've built a world where players can encounter others, but we haven't made a world with fights challenging enough where you feel like other players matter. Aside from that one public event in the Dreaming City.
Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. I just got killed twice by the same Nova Bomb.
Get wrecked.
If there is no achievement for that, there is no justice in this world.
There's no justice in this world.
Yeah, but we already knew that.
Alright, so here is where we get to... Well, I'll touch on the shortcuts that they took. Faction rallies will not return. Next season they're going to bring the armor and a few popular faction weapons back to random rolls, I think. It's going to be in the Ingram pool for next season, which is great, because some of that armor is amazing looking. And then there's the Dead Orbit armor. Next season, you won't be able to purchase Bright Engrams because it's RNG, and they don't want you to.
No more loot boxes.
Yeah, so you can't purchase them. They'll still be in the season pass, but on the free track of the season pass, which is good. I don't think they were ever in the paid for
destruction on a scale like that since
track.
Well, the last time you won.
Correct. They were never in the paid track, but they were in the free track. Next year they're going to work on the new light entry because it's shit. It's real bad for bringing new players into the universe.
Is it really? I haven't actually looked at it.
Like once you get through the Cosmodrome and you have your character, everything gets dropped in your lap and there is no information on who you should talk to. Do you want to play the campaign? Sucks, because Holiday's the one that has that information, and there's no reason to go talk to Holiday.
But what if you want to buy a Sparrow?
Do you want to unlock the planets? Well, it doesn't tell you how to do that really. So you're SOL.
So it took something that was a slog and made it just incomprehensible.
Yeah. It's certainly still better because you can still like get into the game faster, but boy is it complicated.
So it's gone from making people not want to get into the game to making people not know how to get into the game.
Yeah. Alright, next season we are getting some changes for the quest tab. So it'll be categorized. So this will bucket your quests into specific areas. So exotic quests will get their own category, seasonal quests will get their own category, and there'll be several seasonal categories for like this season, things that expire at the end of the season, and then things like this is the Forsaken quests. You really don't have to worry about these. They're there. Eventually maybe do something about them.
Time for battle.
But I imagine that'll also put like Powerful Synthesizer, the Chalice of Opulence, Ballistics logs, all of those will go.
It's more easy to access.
Yeah.
Because you need them.
Somewhere by themselves so you can clearly see, hey, these are my containers. Yeah. And then we get to the part that I am iffy about.
Mega low.
I can see why they're doing it.
Me too, but it's wrong.
Not super happy about them doing it, but I can see why. Pull it up. It's sticky. Recent tabs. So there it is. Weapons forever. I think that's the problem.
It's not a problem.
So, here's the issue. Right now, there is no reason not to keep using Recluse. That's basically the issue with Recluse. It's still Recluse. Recluse, they've nerfed it like 6 times now. It's still a really, really top tier SMG. And a really top tier weapon. Period. Likewise, Breakneck. Now that they've fixed their shitty nerf to it, it's back to being a pretty good auto rifle.
Oh, they did fix the nerf?
Yes.
Nice.
Technically, I think it's getting a buff next season. because of all the other
Yep.
levels and stuff. So every weapon you get, you can keep and infuse forever. That is going to change next year.
I don't like where this is going.
Nope. So they points out Destiny 2 with Infusion, it's like having every card you own in Magic available and playable in all formats forever.
Yes, and we like it that way.
It passively creates power creep, which also means that our teams need to spend more and more of their time retesting and supporting old stuff instead of making new stuff. It also reduces players' desire for new items. It means we ultimately create a ton of gear that doesn't have any value beyond ticking the box on the I got it checkers.
And we like ticking that box.
I'll agree with, like, I got all the good rolls this season. I got some really nice weapons. I'm being forced to use some of them next season because of the nerfs, but other than that, like,
Your opponents have built a lead.
okay.
Destroy it.
They're gonna sit in my vault, marked on dim as archived, so I don't even have to look at it forever now. That isn't value. It's actually the opposite of value because it's work that we could be putting into making new stuff or improving old stuff. The combat team works extremely hard to make weapons feel unique. Each legendary and mini blues get their own flavors of special sauce. Sometimes it's the way a gun sounds, sometimes it's the way it looks, sometimes it's the insanely over-budget range stat, coil pattern,
And fight again.
or sometimes it's just something indescribable that makes an item resonate with players. But,
Two fire teams of guardians head to head with
there's a
no
problem
limits
with
on their light.
always being able to
Someone was
use
bound
those
to lose.
all the time.
Make
So,
sure it's them
they-
next time.
Do not want to take all your weapons, throw them away, and destroy the tower again. It's actually said in here.
That's good.
But and they're not going to lock the weapons away as unplayable. You're still going to be able to use them forever, and specifically they'll be usable in like free roam or PvP formats.
Everyone will be 2,000 light and we'll still be using our 960 recluse.
Yes,
and winning.
that's the thing. They are going to limit the amount you can fuse things. So it's hard to cleave out the space for guns to be different in the current version. Weapons that are supposed to come from pinnacle activities like raids or trials don't really have space to breathe. The answer can't be just to make them better, because that approach ends up with the Reckoning situation. Or, you know, Recluse and Delirium, and where they just become god tier weapons that are better than exotics. Because Delirium still is better than some exotics.
Yeah,
To be
but
fair, some exotics are crap.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So in the world they're imagining, there'll be like a weapon space as a period. So at the top there will be the pinnacles, powerful legendary weapons, legendaries that are just better than other items. And they'll be able to do that again. They'll be able to keep making pinnacles because items will enter the ecosystem, be able to be infused for some number of seasons, and beyond that, their power won't be able to be raised. So because they won't have to account
There
for
is no
weapons viability
cowardice in
forever,
hiding until you're
it can be easier to
supercharged.
let something powerful exist.
But I'll
So that
see
means
it.
basically
I'll
they can add a
see
recluse
it
and
every
go,
time.
that was a little too overpowered. Oh well, it's only going to be there for 3 seasons, and then we won't have to deal with it. So changes like this means that legendary weapons would be shelved, quote unquote, could be reissued at a future date. So we might get a Recluse 2.0. I'm saying that as something that I know will never happen. Recluse is too powerful, it's not coming back. But we might get a Breakneck 2.0, where the Breakneck gets reintroduced as a weapon, and we get to toy with that a bit, and set it aside in a few seasons.
So what about exotics?
Exotics are not... This is not being applied to exotics yet. They're figuring out how it works with legendaries first. So, not year 4. Maybe year 5 or D3, but not year 4 right now. As of this early in the development cycle.
Gains the lead.
So, the simplest version of how this is going to work is legendary weapons will have fixed values for how high they can be infused. Those values will project the weapon's viable in-game lifespan. We think that lifespan is somewhere between 9 and 15 months. So the way I'm thinking of this is basically you get a Steel Feather Repeater this season. The maximum possible life for this season is 970. Let's say that it has a maximum infusion potential of 1000. So as you get closer to 1000, you can infuse it up to 1000. And then as you hit 1002, you can infuse it in and it'll just go to 1000. You can't infuse it above that point. You can still use it forever. You can still use it in PvP and in the open world where nothing matters. But if you're trying to do a raid, or Iron Banner, or Nightfalls,
Trials,
or Trials, then you're going to need, if you want to be optimal, to use one of the newer weapons as you get there. Now, currently it's 10 light. That's all we're getting a season. And we have the artifact, which means that if I'm going into a raid, I don't need to worry about a weapon. Like, I could still use a Recluse in a raid if they retroactively worked this so that it...
But when you're
Recluse
around,
is 4 seasons
it
old now?
so much faster.
Almost.
yeah.
Because it came out in Drifter.
So it'd be what, 920 light?
Yes, if we subtract 10 light, it would be like 920 light. That wouldn't really affect me going into a raid because it's an average. Now if I used it and some Forsaken gear and some Year 1 gear,
You'd be in trouble.
I'd be in trouble. But because, because I have armor and because my artifact just gives me straight light, it doesn't really apply that much. What do y'all think of this?
I like my subtle calamity. It's not threatening.
Still being viable for open world stuff, I'm fine with. And I'll be honest, I'm not gonna be sorry to see Recluse go in, like, Iron Banner.
Just because you don't have it doesn't mean...
I'd say something about being close, but, it's resetting in 2 weeks. Then I have to start all over again.
Yep, which you will. But I really like the way they're doing it right now, which you have to get technically 1,050 is the minimum to get these new ritual weapons. Which is exactly half the amount of glory you have to get for heroic and all the others. It's a good thing. It feels good. You get there and you're like, wow, that didn't take too long. Shit, that was easy. So yeah, like I am glad that it doesn't lock it. Like we can still use the weapons. I hope there's some weapons that like